Ooh, dogs.
Ooh, yes, that is the theme today. Ooh, dogs.
I don't know if you know this. I mean, do you know this? We are in a dog grooming place. That's where you groom dogs, yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
So you make dogs look real pretty.
So thank you, round of applause for Miss Cassy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Miss Cassy. Thank you.
And that's why we did a pom-pom poodle crossy. You can make your dog look pretty too. And that was led by Miss Barb.
Yes, thank you.
And special thanks to helper Kai.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Is it okay if I start?
Go for it.
I'm going to start. So the first thing we do during Reading Time with the Queens is do the Reading Time with the Queens theme song.
Go figure.
Here we go. Take a stand, make a scene. It's reading time with the Queens. Ooh! I know you've been hoping for reading time with the Queens. The library's open for reading time with the Queens. There's lots to know about the world today, so open a book, let's make our way. Ooh! I just... something got in my throat. That was the best time. There's crafts to be making at Reading Time with the Queens. There's songs to be singing at Reading Time with the Queens. Today we'll learn that we each are a star. We'll spread kindness wherever we are. It's so much fun, but it's not a dream. It's Reading Time with the Queens. Dogs!
Great timing.
Okay, so your life is rough. Take a pause, hands up, give a round of howling applause. Ooh! Let the fur fly past shops and synagogues. Ooh! Dogs! There you go. Woo!
All right.
And give it up for your host today, Mr. Aaron.
Hello. As she said, I am Mr. Aaron. This is Miss Callie.
Hello.
We've got a fun event for you today, all about dogs. Go figure.
Dogs. I see someone is being grouchy on purpose.
Someone's in the wrong room. Dogs and animals of all sorts. We'll just go with that. We're all accepting here. Goldfish, yeah, we'll talk about that. So we have a couple of readers today, and we also have a guest speaker who's also our host for the event space, Miss Cassy. So thank you very much again for the space. But we are going to bring on Miss Nikki with our book. But before we do that, do you want to come down and take a seat with us? Sure. Awesome. So we're going to read a couple of books today. We're going to learn a little bit about dogs. But first, what do we always do? Signs. Yes, signs. So we're going to introduce Mr. 𝐥𝐚𝐬𝐧 to come and show us some signs today. So, do you want to sit down? Yeah. Come join me. Okay. So we have several signs today. So what are the signs we're going to be learning? What's the theme today, everyone? Dogs. There we go. So very important to know the sign for dogs. So you're going to tap your leg and snap. You know this one? Good. Awesome. So tap and snap. Dogs. Okay. You can also just snap. Dogs. Okay.
That's how I get my dog off my bed in the morning.
That works.
We put our dogs in a kennel.
That works as well. Yeah. Sometimes we'll snap at our dogs to get their attention as well. So that's why we have that sign, dogs. Okay. So in one of the books, we're talking about the phrase is no bones, but what we mean is really low on energy. So we're going to sign for energy, right? So you're going to make it E, and it's going to be down your muscles. Energy. Okay?
And I remember make.
You remember make? Good. I'm glad you're remembering these too. So what other ones do we have today? And another book is talking about being afraid of different things. Okay. So to stand up to those fears, we have to be brave. So brave. Okay, cool. Okay, that's fine. Stand up. Brave. Okay. And then do we have a fourth one as well? What do dogs like to do a lot with their owners? Play. Okay, yeah, absolutely. Fetch. Yeah. You can also take them for a walk. So walk. You can walk with your dog. You can walk by yourself, but walk. I know our dog loves to go for a walk.
Questions up here.
Yes.
They like to cuddle. Like my dog, he's a huge Bernese. So he loves to cuddle.
So you have a walking pillow is what I'm hearing. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. Sounds like my dog. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, question.
My dog thinks I'm a pillow and a bathroom sometimes.
Oh.
But she also loves to lick me on my hands and be adorably cute.
I'm sure. So let's review those signs so we don't forget them. And then we're going to move on to our first book today, okay? All right, so what are the signs again? So dog, tap and snap, or just snap. Okay, dog. Energy. All right, good. Brave. Want to be brave. All right. And then walk. Okay. All right, so there's a phrase in one of these books that's no bones. We're gonna sign energy. Okay? So remember that when we hear our first book. Okay? Thank you, Mr. 𝐬𝐤. Thank you so much. Awesome. Miss Nikki, can you come up here and read to us, please? All right. Look at that. The grace, the poise, the hair.
Yes, it is. We're going to see. There we go. Perfect. Oh, I'm beautiful. Hi, everyone. I am Miss Nikki. How are you? Good? We're doing good? Perfect. You guys don't seem to have a lot of energy right now, right?
Maybe they're just really attentive.
Oh, I love that. So today, I'm actually going to be reading a book about energy to you guys called Noodle and the No Bones Day. Does anyone know what a No Bones Day is?
You have no bones in the day.
Kind of. Real close.
It's why you don't have bones.
Well, it's when you're really low on energy, but we'll explain that as we get into the book. Yep, you got it.
Back to the ground.
But it is written by Jonathan Graziano and illustrated by Dan Tavis. So, Noodle is a pug. A silly, stubborn, sweet old pug who lives a very busy life. Doesn't look very busy, does he?
I'm so sorry, Miss Nikki. It seems like someone decided.
It's a
right
beat.
now
I'm feeling.
It's my grandmother. Hi, Baba.
You're having too much fun.
Yes, I'm in the middle of a reading time and everyone's listening to you.
Hi, Baba.
Well, I just wanted to know if you asked your parents about.
I most certainly have, and I will go into the other room and talk to you about it. Bye, Baba.
Bye, Baba. Okay, so Noodle.
Live theater.
Back to Noodle. Noodle's just silly, right? So some days, Noodle likes to go on walks and see the sights.
Walks.
Do you see him looking at the squirrel right there? Some days, he likes to sit outside and bark at passers-by. And every day, he likes to eat snacks. More chicken, please. He's a pug who knows what he wants. I like chicken, too. Jonathan is Noodle's human. He loves taking care of Noodle and joining him in his favorite activities. He loves to take Noodle on walks where they can see the sights together. They're on a walk right here. You remember walk?
That sort of.
Because I don't remember walk.
Yeah, sometimes. Run.
He
Really
loves
slow.
to sit outside where they can say hello to their neighbors. And he loves to share snacks. Noodle prefers chicken, but he will settle for broccoli. Jonathan and Noodle do everything together. So there they are, saying hi to their neighbors, settling for broccoli.
Right.
One day, Jonathan went to take Noodle on his walk. Noodle lay in his bed with one eye open. He very clearly did not want to go on a walk. Do you want to see the sights, or sit outside, or have some snacks? Jonathan asked. Noodle did not want to see the sights or sit outside. He did want snacks, but still, he stayed in his bed. There's Noodle. Tired little nugget, right? Concerned, Jonathan tried to sit him up, and Noodle, in his silly, stubborn, sweet way, plopped back down into his bed and went to sleep. Wow, Jonathan said, it's like he doesn't have bones. At that moment, Noodle let out a big sneeze. For those of you who don't speak pug, a sneeze means yes.
Any of your dogs sneeze?
Yes.
All the time.
I have one dog.
Oh,
Good.
cool. Huh, thought Jonathan. Noodle's bones had never disappeared before. Was he sick? Jonathan checked his nose, but it was soft and perfect as usual. You ever do this with your dogs? You ever just poke their little nose?
Yes.
Yes.
Gently. Yeah, gently.
I usually just push it like a toaster.
Yeah, but gently though.
Maybe Noodle was just sad. Jonathan gave Noodle a bunch of belly rubs to get him revved up. There he is getting all of his belly rubs. Noodle lapped up the attention, but he burrowed in deeper.
He's sinking into the ground.
Nope, just his bed. Perhaps Noodle was hungry. He was, as always, but still, he stayed in bed.
He's like this.
But what about all of our favorite activities? Jonathan asked. Noodle stared at him. Would you rather snuggle instead? This time, Noodle sneezed. Do you remember what a sneeze means in pug?
Yes.
There you go. So that's what Noodle did. He didn't go on a walk. He didn't see the sights. He didn't sit outside. Instead, he snuggled in his bed. He enjoyed lots of belly rubs and ate many snacks. And he was happy. A happy, silly, stubborn, sweet pug enjoying a relaxing day. A no-bones day. Jonathan looked at Noodle, enjoying his no-bones day,
Yeah, energy, no energy.
and decided he would have a no-bones day too. Look at them. He's eating popcorn. He's got his snacks. Probably chicken in here, right? From then on, some days were bone days. Great days for walks, seeing the sights, and sitting outside. And other days were no bones days. Great days for staying in bed, snuggling with a blanket, and getting lots of belly rubs. But no matter what kind of day it was, every day was a great day for snacks.
I agree with that.
Me too. Book only about snacks and how noodles.
Probably. Listen, Noodle and I, we got a lot in common. We both love to eat, so. Bones or no bones, they are all good days.
Cool.
And that's it. That's the book.
All right.
That's Noodle.
Thank you so much, Miss Nikki. Thank you.
I can't get up.
There we go. All right.
We're in
Cool. I really like this book because, first of all, Noodle is wonderful. Noodle is wonderful. But also, just knowing when you can call it a day and relax and you have no energy, and some days when you have more energy and you can do things, knowing what your limits are.
Yeah.
So, really, really cool book.
Hi, you guys.
Hello!
It's me, Miss Barb, and look who's back in Craft Corner with me.
Me, Miss Callie!
Yay! I've missed you, my friend.
I've missed you too, and I miss doing crafts, so I'm very excited for this craft today.
Yes.
This, dogs
Ooh,
craft.
dogs.
Yes.
Look,
What?
guys.
Ooh, dog!
A poodle.
A poodle!
Isn't this darling?
Ooh, I love that. I love that poodle.
Looks very
Poodlish.
very poodlish.
Fancy.
Very fancy.
Lovely, yes.
Very not pedestrian. Urban. With
Urban, yes.
It's very nice.
With all of his fluffs and colors and...
Yes. Oh, and it looks like it's made with pom-poms.
It is.
So it gives some very like fur appearance. I love that.
So what we started with, now this is something specific I bought just for this craft. It was, I purchased it off of Etsy, one of the vendors from Etsy. It was a die cut that I ordered specifically. I was looking for something doggy.
Yes.
And so I saw those and I saw that and went, ooh, that would be darling to put pom-poms on the little floofs.
Well, it certainly is darling. Okay, so it's not just this though, of course.
Nope. All right, so as you can see, we put the little poodle on a background. So what this is just cardstock, just plain colored cardstock that I've cut in half.
Okay.
And you can pick a color, any color, Miss Cassy.
Ooh, I'm feeling very pink today. Let's go with pink.
And then we have pom-poms.
Okay.
And what we did for the top of the head were these little miniature, teeny tiny.
Oh, very floofy.
And then I have some blings, just some strips of little golden blings and some smaller little ones that we can make the collar.
Okay.
And the little tag. And then also, oh my gosh, you guys, I don't know if you can see this.
Oh, it went down, but here's another one.
These little tiniest little bows.
Alright, I gotta. Ooh.
That I got to put in the poodle's hair.
Very nice.
We'll find that in a
I
while.
see it. Where is it? There you go.
Okay, thank you, Miss Kelly.
You're welcome.
On fumble fingers today. All right, then we have markers,
Alright.
and we have glue.
Glue. Yes. Okay, so can we just start? I think we got. So do we put it on the background first? Yeah.
Yes, glue
Okay.
the poodle onto.
Does it matter which way I put it?
It's just if you feel like having it go right or left, whatever your preference is.
I think it
because
looks
it's
nice like that.
the same front and back.
Okay, so if I want it to go this way, I have to make sure that I put the glue on this side.
Yeah, I guess whatever side you put the glue on is the opposite side of how it's gonna.
Do I put a bunch of glue?
Not too much,
Not too much. Okay.
because with too much glue, holds it, but it kind of curls the paper.
I see.
But it's still cute. It's still cute even if it's got curled paper.
But I'll kind of get off, kind of near the
Mostly
sides.
on the edges.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know what you're doing.
Yes, I am a glue expert.
Yes.
I've had trials and tribulations with glue.
hmm
Miss Barb, how's your month been going?
It's been a good month. I've been waiting for spring.
Yes, I've been waiting for spring too.
I just don't know if one day it's gonna be 70 or the next day it's gonna be snowing. So
It's true.
it's kind of a jackpot every day.
Pretty much. Okay, so I got this glued down. Now I'm going to put it in the middle. Here we go.
And the reason we're using the background, Miss Kelly, is just to give the poodle some strength.
Well, and also it just looks very nicely
Kinda
framed
makes
this way.
Kind of makes it pop.
Okay,
Exactly.
I have a wild idea.
Yes. What
I'm
does that mean?
thinking about making the pom-pom spots bright yellow.
And then put pom poms on them.
Yeah.
Okay,
Does that sound good?
that's great.
Kind of like this one has the pink
The
on
pink?
here. So I'm gonna do yellow where this pink is.
Super. That's exciting. That'll be.
Okay. Ooh,
Bright.
look how bright it is. Wow.
You might glow in the dark.
Yeah. Do you ever play around with what do they call them? Black lights?
I've only seen them from afar.
Okay.
I've never had one in my close personal space.
Well, if you ever get a chance to play around with a black light, it's very fun to hold it up to a bright color like this fluorescent yellow, or like bright pink, blue, and it makes everything glow.
I think this yellow would probably be the brightest, wouldn't it?
Yes. Of the options I have. Oh, there's a nice pink though too. There's a nice pink. All right.
Good
I got
job.
all this done.
Good coloring, Miss Kelly.
Thank you very much. Okay. Now, do we do the pom-poms?
Yes, I got you the assorted colors, but it sounds like you've chosen The yellow.
I saw him and I was like,
You went, ooh!
yes, I'm in a pink mood, but this sparked my interest.
Did you go, ooh?
I went, ooh! Pom-poms! For my, ooh, poodle! Okay.
So I've used 5.
Okay.
I put 1 on the tail, 1 on each back foot, and then 2 on this one just because it was because it represented the front and the back. So
Right,
it was
there's
a little
2
bigger,
feet seams there.
A little bigger.
Okay. Should I just like put
Well, I got some out in a,
Oh.
in a thing. You just want to
a
dip
nice
it.
little container that's very helpful. Okay, so I'll just dip it. I'll put 1 here since that's 1 foot. Dip
1
it.
foot, 2 foot.
There we go. Press that a little bit.
Your outfit is lovely, Miss Callie, by
Well,
the way.
thank you. I just thought, what would a wealthy woman wear to walk her dog?
You know, you guys are probably familiar with the 101 Dalmatians movie.
Yes. It is an interesting film.
And there's just a scene where the pups, or the dad dog is sitting out the window looking out at the world outside his window, and this little prim and proper lady walks by.
The dogs and the owners look incredibly similar. I always find that a fun scene.
So yes.
All right, I
Great.
got those done.
Super duper.
Okay, what's next?
Well, next, let's see. Let's do the collar.
Okay,
Because
collar.
then we can kind of judge where we're going to put the hair, the head floof.
Oh, okay, I see. Perfect.
And this, you guys, is just adhesive gems, and I just cut it to size that was going to be long enough for to go around the
We
neck.
love these, and you get these at the dollar store, right?
Yes, I have. Although they've changed their supply,
no.
they're still available, but they're not as good. The stickum doesn't come off very good, and when you pull it off, it brings the sticky stuff off.
But you can always use glue if that happens.
You can always use glue.
Okay, well, I got that to stick pretty well.
All right, and then I have these bigger little gems. I don't know what color you'd like to use.
I think purple would be kind of cool, yeah?
But then you'd
Let's do purple.
Yep, you'll need to probably, well, I don't know.
Oh, I don't think there's any glue left. Okay, I'm gonna put some glue on the gem. Just kind of in the middle there. See, there you go. And then we'll put it like as a dog tag.
Oh, this one fell off, but yes, just like as a dog tag.
Okay. I see. Very good.
Lovely. It's a
Luxurious.
That's a fancy dog. He's got a big old rock there.
Yes. Okay, I put that there. And then, do we do the head floof?
The head floof, yes.
Okay.
I thought these are just darling.
Now, how do we attach these?
I would put some glue actually on the puppy dog around where you want to do that. And
just a little bit of glue. Enough. Not a ton.
The cool thing about these is I don't know if they just have so much static in them or they're just so tiny they're attracted to each other, so they kind of just stick in a clump. So it's kind of easy just to pick up a clump and then kind of spread it out with your fingers.
Okay, I see. Okay, let's see what happens here. Ooh.
Press, 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 and then you can kind of, when you lift it, you can see it.
Form them together. Very interesting. All right.
Very nice, yes.
I think there's a little too much here, but...
Yep, you can slide some off if you need to.
No, actually, okay, and I want some... You know, that was almost the perfect amount. I think I was just 1 over, Miss Barb.
Oh, very good. That was just a pinch.
Okay, that's very nice. Oh, look at that. Okay, well, I got that all stuck on there.
Wonderful. Oh, it's
okay.
It's a nice.
Is it time for the bow?
It's time for the bow.
Okay.
Yes, just a little dab will do ya.
Okay. Ooh, and this is a purple bow, so it's gonna match.
Oh, to match the tag.
The tag. Okay, so I put it. I'm taking a look here.
Yeah,
Put it right here.
I just kind of put it up there. Yep.
Very nice. Okay, and then what do we got next?
You want to maybe grab a marker. We want to make a little eye
Okay.
and a little nose.
Well, let's see. Let's do.
I've got
Purple?
You want purple?
We'll do purple. Do purple. Okay, so a little eye. I'm just taking a look at what we got here.
Just a little winky eye.
Okay, very nice. Maybe if I give it some like eyelashes.
Cute.
Do dogs have eyelashes? I don't think so.
I think so.
Oh, you think so?
I do think so.
Okay, I'll give it a little purple nose.
And then this one we
Did some polka dots.
did some dots on, but you can. I didn't know if making little teeny swirls that because how
Okay.
puppies are swirly, or just polka dots, or however.
I'll do that. I think like on a poodle, their legs are a little less.
Yeah, they
hairy.
kind of shave the leg and then leave all the floof
I
at
see.
their foot area.
Well, I'll do some like some hair here.
Yes. That's great. Did you have dogs growing up at your house?
Oh yes, the dog we had the longest. Her name was Bonnie, and she was a very good dog.
What did she look like?
She was not a specific breed. She's what you call a mutt, but she looked kind of like an Australian Shepherd a little bit like a Border Collie.
Mm-hmm.
She was very good at making sure that we were kept protected.
Great. What color?
Like brown and black and white.
Beautiful.
This dog is certainly not brown and black and white.
This dog is beautiful.
Yeah, this dog is fluorescent yellow. Oh, and its tail just came off. Okay, I'm gonna take another pom-pom because I don't want to.
So here, let's get some glue just out of the bottle.
Yes, I agree. Okay, we have to.
Oh, Miss
Oh.
Barb, gosh, dang it.
Oh, this happens sometimes. Okay, here. Okay, I got the glue, and there we go. I replaced the tail. Okay, I'm not gonna pick it up just like I did before, but there we go. That's our craft all done.
That's great. I love these because, all the colors of pom-poms, they're all going to be unique and so colorful in their own way.
Yes, and you can dress up your poodle any way that you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Individuality is very important in this craft, right?
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for showing us how to make this craft, Miss
You
Barb.
bet. They can be friends.
Yeah, they can be friends. Woof, woof. Ooh,
Ooh, dogs.
dogs.
Bye, you guys.
Bye.
All right. Miss Kylie, will you come up here and help me, please?
Sure.
Thank you. I am going to read a book that we read many years ago called There Might Be Lobsters.
Oh, I remember.
Awesome. Yes. So you remember all the signs, right? It's okay. We're going to use different ones. We'll use different ones. It's fine. So I will go ahead and read this book. Miss Kylie, will you sign this? Yes. Absolutely. All right. So There Might Be Lobsters by Carolyn, Crimi, illustrated by Laurel, Molk.
Quit touching me. Quit touching me.
Are we paying attention to the book? There might be other surprises other than lobsters. Okay, all right. Come on, Suki, you can do it, said Eleanor. She stood at the bottom of the stairs to the beach and waved to Suki. Nice picture, right? I'm teasing, it's this one. All right, so they're going to the beach. Eleanor definitely is excited. Suki, not so much. But Suki was a small dog, and the stairs were big and sandy, and she hadn't had lunch yet, and her foot hurt a little bit. She might get a shell stuck up her nose. She might tumble down on her head, and then she'd need stitches. And besides, there might be lobsters. So, Suki sat at the top of the stairs with 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 Little stuffed monkey right there. Friends for Everest. Yeah. Suki does not look happy. But, oh, all right, said Eleanor. She picked them both up with a tisk and a huff and carried them down the stairs. Eleanor wants to go to the beach and not going to let Suki say no. That's a good friend. Take him to the beach. Absolutely. All right. Come on, Suki, you can do it, said Eleanor. She tossed a beach ball Suki's way. I don't know about you, but that is a very big ball and a very small dog.
It would turn that dog into a pancake.
Ooh, I hope not. But Suki was just a small dog, told you. And the beach ball was big and beachy. And it might hit her nose. And then it would pop. And it might be loud. Or it might knock her down and she might never get up again. Then she'd have to live on the beach forever and eat seaweed to survive. And besides, there might be lobsters. So, Suki sat far away from the beach ball with 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 at her side. All right. That is a lobster.
That is definitely a lobster.
Okay. So let's see what happens next. So we ran away from the beach ball and we're scared about lobsters. We know a lot about Suki already. Oh, Suki. Eleanor swooped that puppy up with a tisk and a huff and cradled her in her arms. Come on, Suki, you can do it. Eleanor stood at the water's edge and splashed a little splash at Suki. What do you think's going to happen next? She wants to go swimming. She's at the beach. Might as well get in the water, right? Okay.
Besides, there might be.
Wait for it. I will cue you. You can say that again. Okay. But Suki was just a small dog. And those waves were big. And they were whooshy. And they were salty and they were too wet. They might toss her out into the middle of the sea and she might float all the way to Tasmania or Florida. And she might be swallowed by a whale. She wasn't wearing a bathing suit. And besides,
There might be nuts.
there might be lobsters. All right. Okay, so Suki sat at the edge of the water with 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 by her side.
Chunky monkey monkey.
There we go. Suki does not look very happy.
That's what all dogs look like.
Oh, all dogs look like that?
Saggy.
Aw. Okay. Well. Oh, Suki, said Eleanor. She shook her head and dove into the waves. Eleanor's going swimming no matter what. That is someone I can definitely relate to. Love swimming. All right. All right. Suki sat and watched beach balls bouncing and big boys running and umbrellas flapping and lifeguards blowing loud whistles and waves splish-splashing with 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿. Look at that. Look at that. Just chilling. Look at the whole beach area. Boys running and... Oh, yeah. All sorts of fun things going on. So she's so splashing with 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿. Floating out to sea. Suki barked for 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 to come back. 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 started to sink. Oh no. That's terrible.
Terrible story.
But Suki really wants her friend, so let's see what happens.
She might just kiss.
Oh, we'll see what happens. So, Suki started to paddle. She paddled past a big beach ball and through a huge salty wave and over something that might have been a lobster. Ooh. There's a beach ball up here, some waves, and something that's probably not a lobster based on the picture.
That's a fish.
It might be a lobster. It could be a lobster. Until she had 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿. He was safe.
Yay!
Suki had saved him. Let's hear it for Suki. Yay! Awesome. Look at that. Slightly happier Suki. There we go. All right. she felt braver than the bravest dog, because even though she was very small, 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 was smaller. "Oh, Suki, I knew you could do it," said Eleanor. She picked them both up with a yay and a hooray and swung them very gently through the air. Look at that. Suki is so proud right there. Look at that. Brave dog.
Yeah.
And Eleanor, look at that.
How do we sign brave?
Brave, brave, brave. Awesome. Yeah. Suki sat in the sandy sand with the watery waves and watched for lobsters with 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 by her side.
Lobsters.
She looks pretty happy there.
Wait, it's a sand owl.
Yeah. It's a sowl?
So.
I don't know. And they didn't see a lobster all day. No lobsters. So we were maybe promised lobsters and there was no lobsters. All right, and that is the end of this book. All right. So thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
So kind of like the other book of knowing your limits, this one I feel like is a much more, being willing to going past your limits and past your fears and being brave to help others, to help somebody that you care about, which I think is a really, really beautiful message as well. All right. So we're not going to do a song, but I do want to bring Miss Cassy up here. Where are you? There you are. You're wearing blue and I still couldn't see you. Oh my gosh. And you have a guest with you today, don't you? Oh my gosh. Miss Cassy has brought somebody with her today. So we figured that today, with our theme of, what is our theme, everyone? Ooh, dogs. Yeah, hi. Yeah, ooh, dogs. To talk a little bit about dogs and what is the best way to approach a dog and some really good behaviors with them. So we'll let you take over for a minute.
All right.
Would you like a microphone?
I think I can be loud enough. Am I loud enough? Can everybody hear me? I'm used to yelling in here. All right, I'll use the microphone. Okay, so April is Dog Bite Awareness Month and Prevention Month. So I actually have workbooks for everybody here to grab on the way out. And I just want to take a second and kind of talk to you guys about how we approach dogs, right? So it's the first thing we do when we encounter a dog on a walk. Ask if you can pet it. We don't just reach towards a dog, right? Now, of course, I wouldn't have a dog in here that wasn't okay for you guys to pet. So she's pretty good with kids. The shorter you are, the better she is.
So she's terrified of Miss Nikki.
Yes. So when we let a dog sniff us, we get the yes from the owner, right, that we can pet it. When we let him sniff us, we have our hand like this and we go down. And we let him sniff the back of our hands, okay? We never reach for a dog over the head. If we go under, let him sniff you, then you can kind of scratch the chin. And that's a lot safer. It's a lot less scary for a dog, because if you're going over the dog's going to, right? So we try to go under. And that's the safe part that I have for you today. Not super in detail, but the workbooks line out a lot. So moms and dads, definitely look over those books with your kids, okay?
Does anyone have any questions? So many questions.
How many dog types are there?
I think there's about 280.
Ooh, wow.
It's like 285
Counting
somewhere in there.
butts?
There's endless amounts of mixes.
Yes.
There are a lot.
Yes.
What's your favorite dog?
You know, I really like all dogs.
I personally like poodles. This one's a poodle.
Yes.
Yes. You had a question? Yep. All right.
Anthony, what's your question?
Oh.
Well, should we say that when a dog's barking at you, just stand like this?
Yeah, remember those
Ooh.
workbooks?
Uh-huh.
That's going to be all in those workbooks, and we're going to send one home with all of the kids here.
We all get a workbook about dogs?
All of us, yes.
Awesome. All right.
Yes. This is Primrose. Prim will be 3 years old next week. Yeah. And she is a purebred poodle. She's an apricot color. She loves kids. She really loves kids. Yes. That's okay. So the question was, what do we do when we encounter a service dog? Does anybody know?
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
We don't touch it, right? They're not for pets. They are working. They've got a job to do. Yes.
Ooh, the sign for safe.
Sometimes if you ask the
Miss
other
Kylie,
pet 'em.
if you can hear me out there, you're the sign expert. Sign for safe. So it's kind of like the sign for love, and then you bring your hands out. Safe. It's a safe area. Something like that. Good question. Thank you.
Very good question. Any other questions?
Okay, cool. Well, we will go ahead and set up a couple of things. First of all, before I do this, I do want to give out a couple of thank yous again. Miss Barb with our craft today. Thank you so much. Miss Nikki, as one of our readers today. Thank you. Miss Cassy for being our guest and hosting us here today. Thank you very much. Miss Callie for her wonderful songs. Thank you. And our craft helpers, Ty, as well. Thank you so much. Anyone else that I forgot? Oh, yeah. Miss Kylie. Absolutely. Thank you so much for helping us with signs.
And everyone give it up for Mr. Aaron!
So we have a couple of things. One, we have stickers. If anyone's excited about stickers, yes, absolutely. Miss Callie also has our reading
Yes,
tracker.
I'm low on reading trackers, but I'll tell you about it. And we have extras you can print off on our website. So we have a program here. It's a book tracking program. You can take one of these forms home. And if you record 5 books, the title, the author, and the illustrator, if there is one, then you can come back and tell one of us about one of the books, and then you'll get a special prize. Ooh, where's my special prizes? Very like this. We got coloring books, we got toys, all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, and of course, say that again. Yes, absolutely. And so come and get a blank sheet if you don't have one already. And as we always have during reading time, we have stickers for you. Stickers.
Yeah.
So come on, line up here, and we'll finish it off today.
Ooh, okay. What sticker would you like, sweetie?
Okay, I'm gonna sit down
These ones,
here
and we have a few
real
on the
quick.
other side as well.